Sean Strickland versus Israel Adesanya is going to be a one-sided beatdown. I think Sean Strickland is going to beat the hell out of Israel Adesanya so bad, Israel's not going to know what hit him. I think Sean Strickland is going to absolutely pulverize, decimate, and decapitate Israel Adesanya. I think Sean Strickland is going to pulverize, enervate, decapitate, and pulverize. I think Sean Strickland is going to absolutely destroy, decapitate, and pulverize Israel Adesanya at the press conference. I think Sean Strickland is going to pulverize, decapitate, and 100% destroy Israel Adesanya at the press conference. I think the press conference will be a one-sided beatdown with Sean Strickland coming out victorious, and I think the fight will also be a one-sided beatdown with Israel Adesanya coming out victorious. I gotta say, as much as I like Sean Strickland, as much as I want to see that guy win, as much as I think it would be so funny, it would be absolutely hilarious. It'd be a comedy show, a sight to see, something you'd never forget if Sean Strickland could become the UFC champion and just say the wild stuff he says in press conferences and on the mic. I believe one time after he won, he said that if it wasn't for fighting, he'd be in a trailer cooking meth and also in prison or something like that. I mean, it's just it's the funny stuff he says, and also the stuff he says about America and where men and women are going wrong, and how America's falling because most men are absolute losers, which I totally agree with, and everything else he says. I think it would be so funny to hear him say that as a champion and for him to get that sort of publicity and for that message to be spread, because some of the things he says are very true, and they're also hilarious, and some of the things he says are definitely not true. But as awesome as it would be to see Sean Strickland walk away with the dub, I just don't see a reality in where it's going to happen. I just don't. I keep going through my mind, and I keep thinking of ways that Sean Strickland could win this fight. And every time I pretty much come up blank. And okay. If I'm going to be honest, the one way I think he could win, I think if he was going to win, he would have to make this a dogfight. I think he has to push Izzy back. I think he has to mix in wrestling and a lot of clinching and fence wrestling and a lot of trying to damage Izzy between clinches while avoiding getting hit. Maybe taking him to the ground if he can, letting Izzy get back up, taking him down again. I don't know if he has that level of offensive wrestling to be able to do that, but if he does, now's the time to show it. Constantly keeping Izzy moving backwards, constantly just countering everything he throws like Sean Strickland often does, although oftentimes he does it to the detriment of his own defense. Keeping an insane level of volume on Israel Adesanya without gassing. I think he would have to win like an ugly decision, or maybe like a super late round like TKO, like a really like ugly like the only way I see Sean Strickland ever winning this is if it gets ugly. Like he has to make this an ugly brawl dogfight and just hope to edge out and land more punches than Izzy while simultaneously not getting hit. And I just don't think, like, he would have to overwhelm and discombobulate Izzy, and I don't think that's ever going to happen. I think all Izzy has to do is catch him a couple times with the right shots, beat up his legs a little bit, and I think this is going to be a pretty easy win for Israel Adesanya. I really just don't see a way that Sean's going to be able to do this. And even the way I just named about him making it ugly, it's like there's such a slim chance he would have a shot at doing that. I'd say there's probably like a 10% chance Sean could win. I'd say there's about a 90% chance Izzy could win. If these guys fight 10 times, I think Israel wins probably like at least 9, if not 10. Let me know in the comments. Do you guys think I'm wrong? Do you think there's a real way that Sean Strickland could win this fight or is going to win this fight? And how amazing would it be if he did? I would be hilarious. It would be a sight to see if he did. I just don't think he doesn't have the technical prowess. He doesn't have the technical dexterity or intelligence. He doesn't have the game planning. He doesn't have the ability to adjust. He doesn't have the defensive ability to not get hit. He doesn't have the defense at all. He's been training with Alex Pereira, saying his footwork has gotten better. He didn't realize how bad his footwork is, and that is true. But I don't think that's going to be enough. And he shows the ability to like he doesn't want to really change. Like he kind of just wants to get in there and brawl and what he calls do the man dance and do his own thing, and and win fights by TKOing and KOing people. It's just that's not going to work at really high levels. And this is a big jump for him. He hasn't really fought anyone in the top 5. He hasn't fought Vettori. He hasn't fought Dricus. He hasn't fought Whitaker. He hasn't fought who else is in the top 5? I don't know. I'd have to go look. But I know there's other guys in the top 5 he hasn't fought. This is a huge jump for him. I think he's ranked 6 or 7. I mean, this is a big jump for him to get the title shot. And I think he's getting it because Izzy didn't want to fight Dricus because I think he was mad at Dricus, or he didn't want to. He was blaming Dricus for having an injury and not wanting to fight, and I guess he didn't want to wait. And so I guess this is why Sean's getting the fight in the first place. But, props to him for taking it. He basically has to take it. He's probably never going to get this shot again. But at the end of the day, I just don't see what he has. I mean, when we look at Sean Strickland's technical ability, we're dealing with a boxer in MMA. Put my headphones in. We're dealing with pretty much a strict boxer in MMA who likes to sit there and try and punch and counter as soon as you throw, oftentimes to his own detriment. I mean, go watch any of his fights. He literally just starts throwing when he sees you throwing. He sees you throw a punch, he's like, oh, here I go, and he just starts throwing too. And oftentimes it's at his detriment. And he likes to do like a lean back and then go. He does kind of pull counters a lot, but he doesn't do them correctly where you take the back foot with you and you remain defensively responsible. He oftentimes, he does these little like parries where he goes like that. That's how Alex Pereira got him. You can't be moving your hands away from your face like that without any sort of head movement or footwork. Eventually, you're going to get caught. I just think this fight is gonna, that's basically all Sean Strickland does, and he just tries to pressure you and keep the volume up and throw with you and overwhelm you, but. Obviously, when you're dealing with someone who knows how to deal with that, knows how to time you and feint and get you to think he's going one way and then go another, that's not going to go well. So, yeah, and also, too, his footwork is just nothing special. I mean, Israel's going to be going left, right, forward, back, going to be walking all over him, moving him in different directions. Sean's footwork is, I would say, nothing impressive, maybe even subpar. So, yeah, I just don't see a way that Sean Strickland wins this, and that's very unfortunate because... Again, I think it would be a spectacle to see him as a champion, but let me know in the comments below. What do you guys think? Do you think I'm wrong? Do you think Sean actually has a chance at winning this? And, I'm sure the betting lines are going to be insane because I'm sure Sean is just going to be such an underdog. I mean, placing $5-10 on Sean might get you 100. I don't know. We'll have to see. I don't really bet, but yeah, if you do. I guess it might not be the worst idea to throw $5-10 on Sean Strickland, see where it goes. But that's up to you. I'm not giving any betting advice. But I would say Israel Adesanya is going to win this fight. I would say in 2 rounds, and I would say by knockout or TKO. I'd be surprised if this fight went more than 2 rounds. So maybe 3 at the most, but I think Izzy's going to handle him quick, and he's going to move on, probably to Dricus. See where it goes from there. This is The Art of Violence, and until next time.